Good morning, beautiful friends. First of all, I want to say thank you for all the anniversary wishes. We really do appreciate them. And so yesterday was our anniversary. Maddie was home with us, so she picked us up lunch. We had salad from Roosters. I love their salads. They're one of my favorites. So I didn't have to cook, so we just kind of hung out. I did make a dessert for tonight. So tonight I'm cooking a little romantic spaghetti, like Lady and the Tramp. He's the lady, I'm the tramp. Anyway, he mentioned last week that he wanted some spaghetti. It's one of his favorite meals. So I thought, well, here's you an anniversary gift. I will make you some spaghetti. Then I remembered I was going through some of my old cookbooks, and this is from our local hospital where my mom retired from for 30 years. My grandma was also a nurse there and retired. And inside of the recipe book, I found my mom and dad's spaghetti recipe. Now, I've never asked to make it because Dad most of the time cooked the spaghetti sauce, and he would say a little bit of this, that. So evidently in the 90s, they sat down together and put together the recipe. So I'm very blessed to have it. So it's one of Brock's favorites. He always loved my dad's spaghetti, and I'm happy that I have it, and I'm happy that I can share it with you. My dad was such a good cook. So, hi Brock. Brock just walked in. So anyway, we're going to continue. Now, I fried 2 pounds of ground beef. The recipe calls for 1, so I'm going to save that pound for later. And inside of here, I had a little bit of breakfast sausage in the fridge, so I went ahead and cooked it up with some onions. So let's get to the recipe. So in the recipe, she has 1 can of whole tomatoes. Now, I'm not going to deviate too much from the recipe, just because I want to try it out. Now, let me tell you what. I've been a mess lately. I've been getting stuff all over me. I just sloshed tomato all over me. Okay, so we've got those cans of tomatoes, whole tomatoes right here in my slow cooker. And I'm going to turn, I don't have my heat on, so I'm going to turn it down low so this doesn't slosh everywhere. That was a very inappropriate sound that tomato just made. So anyway, next she has a dash of garlic salt, and she has salt and pepper. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my SPG, all for one, one for all here. Then she has some oregano. She has a teaspoon. She has some Italian seasoning. She has some chili powder. My dad, that was definitely my dad, because my dad in his younger years was a smoker, and he loved chili powder. I think when you smoke, kind of wanes your taste buds, so he liked things a little spicier. We used to joke about his chili. It would make Brock sweat. We were used to it because we ate it. Now, years later, he quit smoking, but by then his health had taken such a toll. He was a big advocate for not smoking. But where he grew up in Kentucky and West Virginia, it wasn't a big deal. They all smoked, they grew tobacco, but it really did a number on him and his family's health. So we've got that. Now it says chili sauce. I forgot to grab it, so I'm going to grab it really quickly. Every time I think I have it together, I never do I? Sorry, the cocktail sauce and chili sauce look an awful lot alike. So she said a tablespoon, so I'm just going to eyeball it. I like chili sauce. So about a tablespoon of chili sauce. Now, I'm going to get this. I'm going to turn this down really low to begin with, just so it doesn't splatter everywhere. I know these tomatoes are going to cook down and break down. Next, we come in with 1 can of tomato sauce. Okay, that stirred in. And then it was 6 ounces of tomato paste. Now, sorry. But I had all my ingredients together. 6 ounces. This is a 12-ounce can, so I'm just going to use half, and I'll freeze the other half for later. It's not a big deal. I didn't have the recipe with me when I went to the store. That looks like about half. Okay. we go. Wish you could smell this. This smells really good. And I'm going to add that burger in later. I just don't want to overcrowd my pan right now, and I want to break these tomatoes down. Sure, it won't take long. Kind of pushing them down. Now here's an unexpected ingredient that I was not expecting. I'm going to have to call her later and ask her why. Because I would have never have dreamt all my years eating this spaghetti sauce my whole entire life. I never knew this one ingredient was in there. Cream of chicken soup, or cream of mushroom soup. Cream of mushroom soup. I don't know why. I'm sure there's some Italians going, what in the Appalachian Mountains is she putting cream of mushroom soup in there? I don't know. I'm not Italian, I'm hillbilly. So I'll have to call him and ask him. Maybe as a, just for a creamier sauce, I don't know. I'll find out. And if she knows, I'll let you know. Sometimes my dad just puts stuff in there. I'm gonna get that all mixed in. Smelling really good. Now to this, she said, now listen, growing up, my mom always made this in a big skillet. I can still see that skillet in my mind. So if you have, I could have made it in the Dutch oven, but you know what? You know how I'm reminiscing and going down memory lane lately? I was just gonna make it here in my little electric skillet. And I could put the lid on this later and let it simmer. She would let it simmer all day, or at least a couple hours, so everything got incorporated. Now to next, she has 2 cups of water, and ooh wee, this pan is gonna be full. Let me grab my water, forgot it. Always forgetting stuff for my friends. Okay, 2 cups. I hear my washer going. I am sorry. I've got to get caught up on my domestics before the work week starts next week. Okay, 2 cups of water. This is 1 full pan. I think I'm gonna let this sauce cook down and break down before I add in that burger back. I have that sausage in there, so that'll help flavor that sauce. I'm gonna turn up my heat now that I have everything in there. Chewy. My dad always cooked for a crowd because we never knew who was going to show up to our house to eat. There was always somebody there. When my brother was younger, his friends would come over when my dad made spaghetti, and they would just wipe this out, you know, teenage boys. Brock's never mad about having spaghetti leftovers. So here we go. I'm going to give it a taste. Delicious. Now, Mom doesn't have wrote down sugar, so I will add a little bit of sugar because I always do for the acidity. If you don't want to add sugar, baking soda will do the same thing. A little bit of sugar. That's it. So I'm going to go over the ingredients really quickly again. So we had half a cup of chopped onions, 1 pound of ground beef, 1 can of whole tomatoes, 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste, 1 can of cream of mushroom soup, chili powder, oregano, garlic, salt, pepper, and then that chili sauce, 1 tablespoon. There we go. Now, there's a hilarious story by it. It also has 1 whole bay leaf. When Brock and I were dating, Dad found out that Brock liked spaghetti. So he made him his famous spaghetti sauce here. And Mom was bad about forgetting the bay leaf and not taking it out before we served it. And we were used to it, so we would just dig it out, you know, and go on with our lives. Well, that day, Brock got the magic bay leaf. He had it up on his fork, and he turned and looked at me and was like, what is this leaf in my spaghetti sauce? I laughed so hard. I was like, sorry, you got the bay leaf. You are the winner. Now it's a joke. Everybody's like, where's the bay leaf? Who got the bay leaf? So it's a funny joke now. So in goes 1 bay leaf. I'm going to add in a pound of that ground beef now. I'm going to eyeball it. I would say that's a pound. I'll freeze that other pound for a recipe for later on. There we go. Unless Brock says, hey, go ahead and put the rest of that meat in there. Now look at this. Doesn't that look great? This right here, folks, is my childhood in a skillet. Mom and Dad's famous spaghetti sauce. We'll give it one more taste. Yep. Just like my youth. Here we go. I'm just going to let it simmer. She said for 2 hours, so I don't know if I'll let it go that long. I'll wait and see how those tomatoes break down. And then we'll be back to show you the finished product. I hope you friends are having a fantastic day. I thank you for letting me go down my memory lane with these recipes, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. See you later, friends. We'll show you the finished product in a little bit. I'm back, friends, and the star of the show is done. I called my mom and asked her why the cream of mushroom soup. She said, I don't know. This was your dad's recipe. So I have Dad's famous cream of mushroom, adding spaghetti sauce. Now, this spaghetti sauce would work well with any noodle. I cooked fettuccine noodles today because I like a flatter, whiter noodle. So look at that. That sauce cooked down and got thick, and those tomatoes broke down. Ooh-wee, look at that. Now with that, yesterday I made, if you're new here, my French bread recipe. If you're not, if you remember, you can go back and find it. Made this yesterday, this French bread. I did an egg wash with everything but the bagel seasoning on top. It's fantastic. There's it. We're gonna have a salad with it. And when Maddie went yesterday to Roosters to get a salad, I had her get an extra one for today. So I didn't have to make salad because I love their salads. They're my favorite. And for dessert, if you remember yesterday, I whipped up that lemon blueberry cheesecake recipe, and I got a little fancy with some extra Cool Whip there on top. There's our anniversary dinner. I hope you enjoy this recipe of Dad's famous spaghetti sauce. Got a little shredded Parmesan here. All right, friends, I'm gonna go have my anniversary dinner with my husband. Hope you have a great day. Bye, friends.